Hi guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome to another episode of Are You Afraid of the Dark? Last episode we had The Tale of the Twisted Claw, which was originally a pilot episode of the show that was filmed kind of like for a one-off Halloween thing a year before. I did really well, so they ended up making it part of the actual show and they made more episodes. For some reason they chose to do it as episode 4 rather than just refilm some of maybe the Midnight Society stuff. Which, on the most part, is fine because they're all individual stories. The only issue it had was there's a bit when Frank's about to tell the story when one of the characters says, "Oh, Frank, you've not told a story in a long time." And just due to the order that they ended up showing the episodes in, Frank had told us the story the week before. So it ended up being a bit odd because he told a story 2 weeks in a row, and just because they hadn't bothered to kind of fix any sort of continuity, yeah, it just seemed a bit odd. But overall, the story was fun. It was a classic tale, like I said last time, just a new take on it, and it was fun. It was interesting. This episode is the tale of the Hungry Hounds. Now, looking at the list of episodes from season 1, this was one of the few episodes that really stands out for me as one that I did not like growing up. I'm hoping my opinion changes this time because between this one, another one later on down the line, which I won't spoil, and The Tale of the Lonely Ghost, they're the three that when I decided to do a rewatch, I looked at the list of season 1 and I was like, oh, I really didn't like them when I was younger. Because like they used to show them on Nickelodeon a lot on repeats. And so quite a few of the episodes I've seen a few times. Some of them I've maybe seen once when it was on. But there were certain episodes that always seemed to be on repeat. And the season 1 was a popular one to be repeated. But from rewatching The Lonely Ghost, I really enjoyed it this time. So I'm hoping that watching this one again, I'll be able to look at it with a new, fresh set of eyes. Maybe see things as an adult that I didn't see as a kid. And I'm hoping that I'll enjoy this one a lot more than I did the first time round. So submitted for your approval is my reaction to the tale of the Hungry Hounds. It'll be nice to see somebody else telling a story as well. I'm hoping we're going to get somebody new. So we had Frank, 2 from David, and 1 from Betty Ann. So I'm hoping that somebody new. I have a feeling it's going to be Kristen, if I remember correctly.
What was that? What? I thought I heard something, like an animal or something. Nobody here but us chickens. Very funny.
Here, let me do it.
I can do
He's
it.
a bit of a Zeeb, isn't he?
Where's Kristen? She'll be here. Don't get your shorts in a knot.
He wants to see her because he fancies her.
Ouch.
He gave her a locket, remember?
Make a rule.
What was that?
Sounded like a hound dog.
Maybe it was Kristen.
She's no dog.
Rude. Not from Frank, from the other dude. Doggo!
Kristen. I have a tail that'll have you shaking in your little boot.
I don't think it will, if I remember correctly.
Submitted for the approval of the Midnight Society. I call this story The Tale of the Hungry Hounds.
Mia Kirshner, she's
On rainy
from
days, Pam liked
she was
to
in
run around
24.
her musty old attic.
as Mandy, I think she was called.
Her mother never threw anything away. There was stuff from Pam's grandparents, from relatives, and ancestors who'd been dead for years.
This must be a proper American thing, because as far as I'm aware,
Isn't this
I know no
great?
one in the UK
I've wore this on his
that has an attic that's just full of crap.
My mother.
And in American shows, they always have an attic that's just like got generations and generations of stuff that's been left behind, and secrets and dusty old items and books and clothes.
Amy.
We just have spiders and nothing else.
Hello, Charles. Who's Charles?
Hi, Amy.
Guests are arriving, dear. It's nearly time for the wedding.
This isn't funny.
Oh, give me a break. You don't really believe in ghosts, do you?
Give me a break.
There are more
Imagine how
things
much
on
dust
heaven and earth that you could ever
is in that wedding
dream of.
dress.
I don't believe in ghosts anyways.
As if on cue.
What's this?
It's a shame that we don't have these attics though, because I'd love to be like rooting around some old things in a dusty old attic and find some big family
I
secret.
didn't know you could
I would
ride.
love that.
I can't.
I feel like I was in an episode
Mom
of
won't
Charmed.
let me. This is Aunt Dora, and that's her horse Mirage. Oh. Look, there's a name. Dora Pease, 1963. Come on, this is too creepy. It's
Sounds
probably
like
just a
this.
mouse.
See?
Hey in there! Tell us the combination and we'll let you free.
Amy, come on down now. It's time to feed
Hilarious.
Let's go.
Maybe the ghost will open it for you.
I can't believe that I have to spend my entire summer here. What do you do for fun anyways? Promise you won't tell?
Luckily, she's a lot less annoying than Beth. I know she's playing like the Amanda character, the I've come here for summer. But
His owners live in the city. They only come here on weekends, though.
Does it bite?
Nah, he's just a big baby.
yeah, they all seem fairly alright so far.
So he's like a big dog, so what?
Watch this.
You shouldn't really just get on a random horse, it's so dangerous.
Pam! The animals are dangerous. I told you never to go near them.
It wouldn't be dangerous if I knew how to ride. Can't I just take some lessons?
So you want to get on a random horse
I wish you would
without knowing how to ride.
It's dinner time. Let's go home.
Did Dora die
safe
by a
and everything.
horse?
I don't
Because
want
her
to
mum
discuss it.
seems
Mom, it happened 30 years ago.
troubled.
Seems like yesterday to me.
Yeah, if you don't know how to ride, don't get on a random horse because it's so dangerous.
I found it in the attic. The spirits are supposed to give us messages from the other world.
Maybe they can tell us where to get a pizza.
Amy,
She's gonna tell them the combination. Oh my god.
You're doing this, right?
no. L E T
Let
M
me out.
E.
Ooh, creepy.
Late now.
No. It's spelled let me out.
Let me out. Maybe it's that rodent calling from Aunt Dora's box.
1 4 9.
That's the combination.
Now, what were those numbers?
149. Look, I'm telling you, this isn't gonna work, and I don't even believe in this stuff.
Then you shouldn't be scared.
To be fair though, I don't believe in ghosts, but if I used a Ouija board and it gave me a combination to a lock that's been locked probably for a long time,
What are we
I would be
running from?
very scared
Mouse?
because
You're the country cousin.
clearly
I'm
worked.
scared of.
where's all that smoke coming from?
Cool, it's all her writing stuff.
See, I quite like the episode so far, but I'm pretty sure this is where it got really weird for me in the past. So she's now sort of like possessed by the spirit of a relative, almost.
Doing? Night? It's not night.
It's a cool concept, and that effect is really pretty impressive. Like the whole opening the door and stepping out into night. It was done really well. There was no cheesy CGI. It's all practical effects, and it was done quite good.
It must be time for dinner. Don't you have to feed the dog or something?
Grab her, slap her across the face.
Okay, I deserve it. I've been a pain now. Let's go back.
Yeah, if it was me, I'd literally be grabbing her and dragging her back to that circle thing. The window. Like, what the fuck are you doing?
All Aunt Dora's grave. Why did you bring me here?
Because she is Aunt Dora, sort of.
What is that? A bone?
Mon Petit Rouge.
What?
God. Just brings back memories now.
Mon Petit Rouge. It's a gift from the fox. He leaves me presents.
Very nice. Now, let's go.
My little red one.
Oh,
I fed him each
there
day.
you go.
He looked at me through the cage with his little golden eyes.
I know. Let's travel back to Earth now, okay?
I didn't want the hounds to tear him apart. But they were ravenous and howling for the hunt. The
Why
hunt.
is she not more
I
freaked
got
out
up
at what's
before
going
dawn
on?
to see Mon Petit Rouge. I opened opened the barn door, and he seemed to smile at me. And then he ran away.
Okay, so what I'm reading into
The
this
hounds
is
were furious.
she's from a time when
After
hunting
him
was
before
quite
the hunters
popular,
came.
where people used to
So,
hunt foxes,
I
which
saddled up Mirage and we raced
don't
over the
agree with.
hills.
it still happens, I think, some places, but
But then something startled him, and he tripped. And we fell together.
so maybe
I've come to feed the hounds.
hi, creepy man.
Fed them while they were alive.
I couldn't.
Alive. I feel like I've seen him in something else. The voice sounds really
When
familiar.
I found them, they were nearly starved. They leapt at me. I couldn't keep them down. I got away, but my heart.
Sorry, Giles.
Oh, okay.
Why didn't you feed the hounds?
The barn run!
Okay, so because she let the fox go free, the hounds attacked the dude, and he ended up dying with a heart. Right, okay.
What was that?
It's starting to make more sense.
Giles was the stable keeper.
Who locked the girls in the barn?
It might have been Giles.
Giles?
Or it might have been another ghost from the family graveyard.
It was Giles.
It's that jacket. Take off the jacket. Dora.
Literally, knock the bitch out and take that jacket off her.
Pieces. Don't open that door.
Good on you, good on you.
Let me go.
She's gonna get herself out of there. She's one smart ghost. This looks like something I had to do in an escape room once. Something similar anyway. Look at the puppies. Well, no, they're not puppies, but... Oh. Don't kick them. I mean, I would if they were like trying to attack me, but... You can tell that they've... Mon petit rouge! Don't know what that voice was about, so I apologise. But the ghost of the fox came to save the day.
Pam?
This episode, man.
Wait!
I like that window thing though, it's
What am I gonna tell Aunt Beth?
cool.
Tell her about what?
Pam! Are you okay? Yeah, I'm fine.
But how did she get back there?
This place is haunted.
Unless she
thought
never
you didn't
left
believe
the
in
attic in the
ghosts.
first place.
Come
Literally
on,
just the
gotta
spirit
go
of the
feed
ant that
dogs.
left.
That's what I said. I have to feed the dog.
You said dogs. You said I have to feed the dogs.
Did not.
You did too.
Did not.
Did too.
Who cares what I said? What's wrong with you?
Who cares what I said?
Pam tried one more time to convince her mother to let her take writing lessons. And it finally worked. Because her mom was no longer haunted by her sister Dora.
I declare this meeting of the Midnight Society closed. And don't forget to feed your dog, or he may have a bone to pick with you.
Ho, 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 ho. Shut up, Gary. Considering you're a leader, you haven't told a single story yet, Gary. Hey, this is Scott from the future. I'm just in the middle of editing Tale of the Hungry Hounds, and I realised my review at the end wasn't very good, and I was kind of just out of it. I wasn't really saying a lot of any sort of substance, so I just figured I'd re-record my thoughts on the episode. My opinion hasn't changed much since I was a kid. I really do find this episode, for lack of a better term, boring. There's just a lot of watching Mia Kirshner's character, Pam, I think, just walking around, just talking and going, Le mon petit rouge, and maybe it's just my personal opinions, but we don't really know Dora particularly, so I'd have to be totally invested in her story, kind of comes out of nowhere. And the fact that she's just this, oh, I'm a girl and I'm friends with a fox and I call him Mon Petit Rouge and he brings me gifts. I'm like, alright, pipe down, Snow White. It just makes her sound kind of pompous and a bit arrogant, I guess. I also, when I watched through it, kind of got confused with the actual backstory So that's another reason why I wanted to record this extra bit. Because when I did my review, I kind of talked incorrectly about her story and what happened to her. But yeah, the episode as a whole just misses the mark on every level for me. The music is an odd choice. Like, if you've watched the episode, you'll know that they play a lot of, for lack of a better term, medieval style music. The kind you would expect to see in the background of a mobile game. Do you know, like on YouTube adverts, there's always like Ray Shadow Legends and other things, like RPGs that are set in like Game of Thrones times. It's the kind of music I'd expect then, not in the kind of era that it's meant to be set in. And on top of that, the characters aren't particularly exciting. They're not unlikable by any means because they're not bad people, but there's no character development. Take Josh from The Tale of the Laughing in the Dark, which is probably an episode I'm going to reference a lot as one that does things well. He starts off quite annoying at the beginning of the episode. He is friends with Ouija, but he kind of pushes him around a lot, doesn't treat him very well, there's a bit of a knobhead about it. And then through his experience with Zeebo, you see him change and become a different person, to the point where like there's a conversation with Josh and Ouija at the end on the phone where he's like, oh, I'm not going to make you wear it for the whole week, maybe just a day. Like, he's still a bit of a jerk, but that's kind of his character. But he's improved and evolved through the story. Whereas in this one, Pam isn't there for most of the story. At the beginning, she wants to ride horses and do this and that and the other. And then for half the episode, she's just playing the part of Dora. So she doesn't change at all. And Amy just doesn't get a lot to do. Yeah, she starts off kind of being a bit like, I'm the city person, what is there to do in the country? The story doesn't really involve that. This stuff just happens to her, and she's relegated to just following Pam around going, what's going on? What are you doing? Are you crazy? Let's go back. Like, she just doesn't get a lot to do. And I think that's a shame, because the actress was alright, and it's just the first one where the characters didn't really have a lot to do. And it was just very slow. The pace of the episode was bad. The first 5-10 minutes or so, I was quite interested. I enjoyed it more this time around. The finding this chest, using the Ouija board to unlock the code, family secrets being unveiled. I'm invested. Great. But then once it became the story of Dora and the possession, sort of, it just became less interesting. Because it wanted us just to watch her walk from location to location to location to location. And just nothing really happened. The best part of it, there was two good parts, or potentially good parts. One was Giles. He was semi-creepy, and he could have been a bigger part. Like, I would have liked it if it turned out he somehow led to the accident that killed the aunt, or he's the one that ended up releasing hounds in this story. You know, he trapped them in the barn and released the hounds so that as revenge for what happened to him. That would have been interesting. No, that didn't happen. And also, the bit where the dogs came out, I get as a kid, maybe there was elements of this that you could have found scary. But as an adult, you look at the dogs and you're like, oh, they're just so cute. Like, they don't look like Cujo. They're not foaming at the mouth. They're not, like, aggressively trying to get to Amy on top of the haystack. They're really, like, just cute dogs that are just jumping up to get play. And so it doesn't really work. And I get, it's a kid show, they had a limited budget. So to get, like, ravenous dogs or whatever, it may have been impossible. I get that, and I'm not criticising the show for that. They worked under the constraints that they had. It just didn't work as an episode. So from characters to design, lack of scares, it was just a fail for me on pretty much every part. Now, as a kid, when this one ever came on like repeats on Nickelodeon, I would always not watch it. I'd just turn off the channel. This time I enjoyed it more because there's little elements of it that I kind of enjoyed and found humorous. And I can see things as an adult that I don't see as a kid and appreciate different things. But just in contrast to the four other ones that we've watched, it is a boring episode, I have to admit. I'm sorry if you love it, guys, I really am. But honestly, if you enjoyed this episode, please write in the comments below and let me know what you enjoy and why you love it, because I love that kind of stuff. I love hearing a completely different opinion to mine and why they have that opinion. And like, there's episodes of all shows that I hate and other people love it. And I like to hear about why. Now, I don't hate this episode. It's just dull. Bring back Zemo. But yeah, we'll have to see what happens next episode. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you're taking care of yourselves and staying safe. Please let me know in the comments below what you thought of this episode and if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you enjoyed this reaction. And thanks for watching, guys.